Ahí vemos el trabajo que tiene. Tratando de llevarle iniciativa a este boxeador. Cuando parece que sí le dolió el golpe que le lanzó el cuerpo. Vean la mueca de dolor que hizo este boxeador.
All right, so we don't have Juan de Dios Avila yet, but this is Darynn. Darynn also fights out of the Grampas Boxing Gym here on your left side of the screen.
Saludos a todos. Estamos en vivo desde la ciudad deportiva. Ahí cuando termine el primer round, un round dominado por este
Yeah, so we're back with the stream. We have Darynn here, Darynn, who also fights out of the Grampas Gym. As you see the same corner there, Jesse's dad in the corner. And we should have Juan de Dios Avila up next, I believe. They did announce his fight as the one that was supposed to be this fight, but it's Darynn back in the ring here. Darynn Leyva. We're going to mute it here for the music in the background so we don't get copyrighted as this second round is about to begin.
Valverde ya peleó, ganó por knockout, fue la primera pelea. Valverde González. Knockout técnico en el segundo o tercer round.
Darynn Leyva es el del short blanco y Julio es el del short negro. Es una pelea, Leyva viene desde Orange, California, nada abajo. California contra Baja California. Lisa Bundi está en la pelea del Checo. No le falta. La pelea del Checo es de las últimas. Es la pelea número 7.
As we have Darynn Leyva here with the white shorts, applying the pressure, having his opponent against the ropes. Southpaw fighter, also fighting out of the Grampas Gym. Grampas Boxing Gym there. These fights are live from Tijuana, Mexico. If you were just joining us on the previous screen. On the previous stream, Jesse Mandapat won by third round knockout, improves to 7-0. Now we have his stablemate Darynn Leyva. Juan de Dios Avila still coming up next. See a good combination there by Leyva, finishing the right hook to the body. Another right hook to the body. Finding a lot of pressure, Leyva. As we have the ringside stream from Sport Tijuana Box on their Facebook page. Darynn trying to make quick work here. And the weather seems like it's holding up. You guys see the ceiling there that they have. Don't know if it's raining out there. I know here in Southern California it's been raining today. Does look a little cold judging by the spectators there ringside. Everybody wearing their sweaters and their jackets as we have Leyva here in the middle of the ring. Continues to apply the pressure. Great body work there. His opponent now against the ropes. Let's see if he'll escape from there. The referee taking a very close look. This may be a stoppage here. Not coming back from Leyva's opponent, and the referee's looking very, very closely. He's ready to step in. As you guys hear the announcers there, the ringside commentators there in Tijuana in Spanish. Also, saying the same thing, essentially. The referee looking very, very close. Looks like he's going to survive the second round, though. And the referee, you would think, is going to go to that corner and tell him to show him something. As we take a look at the small venue there in Tijuana, Mexico. Who was the person last time who was asking for the ring girls? I believe it was Jesus. He was only here for the ring girls. Let me ask you guys in the live chat here, what do you guys think about Canelo? About Canelo Alvarez now becoming a quote-unquote free agent? Will that be the end of his relationship with the Zone and Golden Boy? I don't know. I still think there's too much money on the line, and I do believe that he'll work in one way or another with Oscar de la Hoya and Golden Boy. But we'll see what develops. As we continue to this third round here. Darynn Leyva on the white shorts on the right side of your screen, winning every round thus far. Like I mentioned, he also fights out of the Grampas Boxing Gym here in Southern California. We'll see if he can get a stoppage. Jesse Mandapag got a stoppage in the previous fight in the third round. Let's see if Leyva can do the same. What's good? Jesus, he missed the ring girls, man. As we have Darynn Leyva here, who also fights at Grandpa's. I know they announced Jesus' fight, but they threw Darynn Avila in the ring, and I believe Juan de Dios Avila is next. As Leyva is now taking some punches in the middle of the ring, it looked like he was going to get a stoppage in the second. Yeah, bro, you missed out. They did a close-up and everything. So here we go. Good body work throughout the fight by Leyva, and every time he gets his opponent against the ropes, it's danger, and yeah, the referee saw it, and he had enough. For you guys who just tuned in, Leyva had been dominant in the first 2 rounds. It looked like he was going to get a stoppage in the second. Ultimately, it comes in the third, just like Jesse Mandapat's stoppage. Grandpa so far 2-0 there in Tijuana, Mexico. As Darynn Leyva gets another stoppage. Yeah, I believe Juan de Dios Avila is next. As you heard in the previous fight, they announced his fight was supposed to be this one. But Darynn Avila, maybe they made a mistake there. Darynn Avila was in the ring, just got the knockout, and Juan de Dios possibly is next. But here we go with the official announcement. And they've stopped the stream. I'm just going to stay on, guys. I'm going to stay on. Let me pause that one before it plays. I'm just going to stay on because last time they took like a 2-minute break. And then I was trying to hurry to get the stream back up. Hopefully Juan de Dios Avila's next. In the meantime, if you guys are out there listening, let us know what you think about Canelo and the Golden Boy, the Zone fiasco. Will they work with him again? That was my thought process when I heard about it. I'm sure they're still going to work with him, with Canelo. Unless, of course, PBC or you never know, Top Rank comes in and signs him. But I believe he will remain a quote-unquote free agent, promote his Canelo promotions, and I'm sure he'll still be working with Oscar at least, in the near future. But they are talking about the Caleb Plant fight. I know there's been a lot of rumors with that one. Caleb Plant, December perhaps. We'll see if it happens, though. We'll see if it happens. Maybe Canelo has more freedom now, in a sense, to negotiate against these guys. We know a lot of fights fell because A lot of his opponents were asking for too much money. But we'll see what happens with Caleb Plant. And yeah, Luis Ortiz is fighting tonight. I believe that is starting. I saw 8 p.m. Eastern time. I'm about to turn on the TV because I think it's a Fox. I think it's regular TV. I'm about to check right now. Easy fight for Canelo. You think so, Jesus? I think he beats him. I think there's not too many guys who can actually take Canelo to deep waters. I do not believe Caleb Plant is one of those guys. You say Plant is overrated. I believe he is a bit overrated. I believe David Benavidez stops him. But I do like his defense, though. I will say that. I feel like with Canelo, he'll try to make it a more of a chess match. But yeah, I still favor Canelo over Plant. I'll give Plant like a 15% chance of winning that fight. Caleb Plant. Yeah, so boxing is about to start on Fox 11. There, I just turned it on. It says boxing on the info thing, but they still have the presidential stuff going on, the election. And let's check. Yeah, the Juan de Dios Avila should be up. Hopefully it's not a long wait. I ended the last stream because I was waiting for the Jesse fight, and these guys took like an hour and a half break or so. So I was just sitting here. So I don't want to keep you guys waiting and stuff. But hopefully they resume the fights shortly. Caleb Plant, yeah, he hasn't fought the best opposition. The Bolivita fight was good. I was there. We went. It was here at the Microsoft Theater in LA, right across the street from Staples Center. We went to watch it. It was a good fight, but yeah, I agree that Plant, he doesn't have the big names in his resume. You know, everyone was asking for the Benavidez fight, of course. It seems like Benavidez wants it more than Plant, you know. And then didn't Caleb Plant also say he was not going to fight Canelo not too long ago because he needed more time to train? You know, so I feel like a lot of these guys know they're not going to beat Canelo, but they want the money though. They want that big paycheck. Eubank versus Canelo. I think Canelo stops all of them. Honestly, I think the one who does give him trouble because of his size is Benavidez. Because he is a big dude at 68. Probably Callum Smith as well because of his size. He's about 6'4", and obviously anyone at 75 because now you're talking about dudes who walk around at 6'1", 6'2", 220 pounds. You know, that's another ball game in a sense there, but yeah, Caleb Plant, I do want to see him against Benavidez. I was hoping that would be his next fight because he does take a lot of fights where we don't even know his opponents, you know, but I don't know. I do agree. I feel like Plant is a bit overrated, but a lot of people like him, though. A lot of people like him. As we await here, I'm going to change the name of the title to include Darynn's name. And have you interviewed David Benavidez? Yeah, Chris interviewed David when he was on the undercard of Sean Porter against Errol Spence. You guys remember that fight was here in Staples Center. So they had the media week here before the fight. The week of the fight, I shall say. And yeah, David is cool. He's a cool dude, and the interview, I posted different clips on our YouTube channel. You guys should watch it. It's pretty interesting because he talks smack about Caleb Plant. You know, one of the reporters asked him, you know, what was his beef with Plant, and he basically said that they just don't like each other, and that they had an incident in one of the gyms. I remember something happened. I don't think it got out, but I remember there was rumors that something happened at one of the gyms, so they don't like each other. And then he just said, so they were like, "How come you dislike him so much?" And he was just like, "I don't know. I just don't like him. I want to break his face, this and that." And yeah, the interviews are on our channel. If you guys look at them under the interviews tab, I think Benavides has some of the most amount of views. So you guys should be able to find it quickly under the interviews tab. And then he also sent a message to Canelo in that same interview. He said basically when Canelo was moving up to 68, David said, "This is my division and stay out of it." That's basically what he said. But yeah, that should be interesting. Clay Collard versus Canelo. That would be dope. That would be dope. Clay Collard, we've had him on the podcast. He's a funny dude, fun guy. And he fights, man. This guy just fights. He has a background in MMA, so he's a tough dude. He has hands. And unfortunately, his last fight was canceled due to him testing positive for the virus. He was supposed to be on the undercard of Lomachenko and Lopez, I believe. And he tested positive, so they canceled this fight. What's his record this year? Clay Collard, I believe it's 5-0 or 4. It might be 5, but I know he's been beating a lot of favorites. Plant push Jose Benavides and hid behind security. Yeah, those guys, the Benavides camp, they roll deep, so I do kind of believe that. But yeah, a lot of people like Plant. He seems like a cool dude, but I don't know. As we were waiting for this Juan de Dios Avila fight, don't know how long this break is going to be. Jesus says Clay is more exciting than Plant. Yeah, Clay's that dude, man. Clay is that dude. I really like him. Clay actually, when we had him on our podcast, we had him via video chat. I think this was after his 4th fight or before. Damn, I can't remember. But it wasn't too long ago. It was like 2 months ago, and he actually called out Berlanga. He actually called out Edgar Berlanga because Collar, he told us, like, I don't really watch boxing like that. Like, I don't pay attention to these dudes. But I've seen that because he fights for ESPN as well. And he's like, I seen that Berlanga's been knocking everyone out in the first round. So he said he would like that challenge. Now, Berlanga is bigger than him. Berlanga is bigger than Collard. But, yeah, Collard, he's crazy, man. That was crazy. Diego Pacheco, I know he was working with Benavides before Benavides' last fight. I know Diego was basically one of his main sparring partners. I would see them post pictures with each other basically every day. Now with Plants, Canelo, and Munguia, I'm not sure. Canelo Munguia, I wouldn't think so because for the most part they do their work in either Mexico or like San Diego. I know for Canelo. And Plant kind of, I'm not sure because he kind of just stays in his own little bubble. We don't hear too much about Plant like that. And I know Pacheco stays here in the LA area, so he was getting in some work with Benavides. I believe Benavides, I heard that their gym is somewhere in like around the Seattle, Washington area, if I'm not mistaken. Somewhere up there. I know they opened up a gym. But yeah, Pacheco has been sparring Benavides. I don't know what happened in those sparring sessions, but I know they happened. Yeah, the stream for Fox still hasn't begun. The Ortiz fight. They're still showing election stuff. Clay versus Berlanga. That'll be crazy. So Clay, for the most part, he fights at either 60 or 54. So he is smaller, but He said he didn't care. That dude is crazy. And yeah, he said he wanted a big money fight because his record is only like 9 and I believe 4. I'm gonna look it up. I know his record doesn't look great, clay collared, but this year has been very good for him. And you know, he's basically an MMA fighter. He's an MMA fighter, but he's been boxing this whole year because, I mean, this year has been tough. He wasn't able to get MMA fights, so he was boxing. Let's see. Clay collar. You know what? I was not intrigued by any of the fights today. Now that you ask Gonzalo, no. Yeah, I think Haney is gonna stop Gamboa. I think the size advantage is too much, man. I don't know why Gamboa keeps fighting these bigger guys at 35. You guys saw what happened when he fought Crawford. Like, he hurt Crawford, but he's just too small, man. He's too small, and I kind of feel bad for him. He's 38 years old now, and it seems like, you guys remember when he had the whole fiasco when Floyd, when he was signed to Floyd, and then Floyd went to jail, and then 50 Cent kind of took over his career, and then he didn't fight for a long time. And then when he came back against Crawford, like almost at a 2-year layoff and at a weight where he didn't belong. And yeah, after that, it's been all downhill. It just seems like he's just, sounds harsh, but collecting his last paychecks. And Haney, yeah, Haney should be able to knock him out, I believe, fairly easily, and I would not be impressed by that because the size advantage is just too much, honestly. Yeah, you think Clay will test Berlanga? That should be interesting because Clay comes forward and he throws punches and bunches, and he could take a punch too. He is 9-2 and 3 draws. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so he's 5-0 this year, 5-0, and he would have probably been 6-0, you know, if he didn't test positive for the virus. As we await here, doesn't seem like they're live yet. Still waiting for the Juan de Dios Avila fight. These guys are lagging it. But yeah, after that fight, I'll clock out. Yeah, Gamboa, at one point, he was supposedly very avoided. If you guys rewind back in time, remember Mikey Garcia was supposed to fight him, and supposedly Mikey didn't want it. But yeah, now everybody wants Gamboa because it looks like a good name on paper. But yeah, come on. He was at his best at 122, at 126. Let's see, how long have we been on air? 24 minutes, man. 24 minutes. Man, these guys better hurry. You know what? I can replay the Jesse fight for you guys. In the meantime, hopefully these guys don't start yet. Let's see. Show the ring girls. El chocolatito.
Ganó por nocaut.
Su oponente en la esquina roja, con pantaloncillo azul con plata, de Anaheim, California, con todo menos miedo, puro Grampas Boxing, combate será a 6 rounds.
Papi,
Yeah, so I agree with you, Gonzalo. Who did Yorki's beat to get all the hype? And I'm looking at his record right now. He didn't beat too many names. Like, let's see. He beat an older Rocky Martinez in 2019. Let's see, he beat, before the Crawford loss, he beat Ponce de Leon 2011. Though. We're talking about 9 years ago. He beat Orlando Salido in 2010. You know, and those are his most notable wins. I'm looking through his record, and I don't see too much here. But I remember, yeah, he was very highly rated. I think it was because of his Cuban style. Because of the Cuban style. I'll show the first round in this fight, and then I'll double check to see if they haven't started the other one. This is Jesse Manapat, 7-0, Filipino boxer, southpaw, 22 years old. He has tremendous speed, man. He fights at 118. He's about 5'8", I would say. He has good power, good size. Luis Ortiz fight is on Fox Sports 2. Okay. Yeah, because I have it on Fox 11, and they're still talking about the election and stuff. And once again, we're tuned in for the this week for the boys who train at Grampas Boxing Gym in Garden Grove here in Orange County, Southern California. They have very interesting young fighters. They have Jesse here, 22 years old. Juan de Dios is 20 years old. And then they have, I believe he's 21 now. Victor Rodriguez, who fought on ESPN not too long ago. Victor, perhaps a more talented one. Well, these guys are all very talented, but Victor, yeah, he fights at 140. He won his fight on ESPN about 3 months ago, I'm sorry. And he one of his mentors is Ray Beltran, so you know he's well connected. He fights a lot of very good fighters as well. He spars Ray Beltran as well, you know. But yeah, that's Grandpa's Boxing Gym. I'm about to check after this is over to see if the other fight is on, and then I'm gonna sign out. I do want to watch Ortiz though, because the heavyweights, you know, they always come with the power, man. I want to see some knockouts. I believe Haney's gonna get a knockout. He should. Here we go to the last 10 seconds of this fight, and now I'm about to switch it over, refresh it to see if the last fight has started. I know there's been boxing all day in this card in Mexico. These are the last couple fights. I believe this here, the Jesse fight, was the 12th fight of the day. It's just crazy, man. They're very active over there. Here, I'm about to switch over, see if they started yet. Doesn't seem like it. Yeah, I don't know. They're taking like a lot of breaks. Kind of interested in Frank Sanchez with Reynoso in his corner. Yeah, I'm going to try to... Are you guys tuned in to the other fights? I'm going to try to turn on the zone, see if what they got going on. Jesse's name is Jesse Super Manapat. All right, so the zone. You guys are tuned into the zone. They have some fights going on there. I think they're talking about Sean Garcia right now.
So Raymond Ford, onward and upward. He wants Ryan Garcia's brother. Not quite ready for Ryan Garcia yet. Obviously, there's different weight classes. Here's tonight's fight card. 1 down, 4 still to go.
Raymond Ford, he just fought. Not too familiar with him, but in his post-fight interview, he was calling out Ryan Garcia's brother, Sean Garcia, who's going to be fighting on December 5th on the undercard of Ryan Garcia. Sean, he was out here in LA for about a month or so. He was over here getting some work with Coach G and Andy Aguilar. And now he's back over there in San Diego with his brother. They're in training camp together. They're going to be fighting on December 5th. And the people are already calling him out. He's only 5-0 with 2 KOs. He's a southpaw. He's talented as well. But we'll see what he can do December 5th. He wants to get that knockout, you know. He wants to get more on the map because a lot of people don't talk about him. Sean Sugar Rush Garcia. Now it's just on the zone. Any female boxers you guys have interviewed? Yeah, we've interviewed, of course, Right Hook Roxy. You guys know she's still an amateur. She's trying to make the Olympics. There should be a big news coming up on that, possibly next month. Right Hook Roxy, Yana Verduzco. She has the potential to be one of the greatest women boxers of all time. She's very, very talented, very marketable. So obviously, look out for her. We've also had La Cobra Ruiz. La Cobra, who's 9-0, if my mind is not failing me. She fights out of here, the LA area. They were one sparring partners not too long ago, Right Hook Roxy and La Cobra Ruiz. But La Cobra, she's supposed to fight for one of the silver belts, I believe, soon. That fight was supposed to happen since the beginning of the year, but there's been like injuries, and I think her opponent supposedly caught the virus as well. But she's very, very talented. La Cobra Ruiz, Adelaida Ruiz is her name. She's a beast. Let's see, any other ones? I can't remember off the top of my head. But we see Marisela Cornejo all the time. She trains over at Buddy McGird's gym. Right Hook Roxy has been training over there, so we see her all the time over there. She's cool. She's very fun. Marisela Cornejo. I know we got a shout out from oh my god, dude. I'm getting bad with these names nowadays. Oh, Clarissa Shields, I'm sorry. I know she has a shout out. She's on the little outro video where we have all the boxers giving us shout outs. Clarissa has one with us. What do you think of Hergovich? I'm not too familiar with him. I know I saw his name right here. But I am going to tune into that because if it's heavyweight, I'm definitely going to watch it. Well, they're just talking about the Canelo stuff. Who do you guys follow in the amateur scene? So Jesus, there's probably the best amateur in the world, I would say. This dude's a beast. And you guys should look him up, Joel Iriarte. I know I talked about him probably many times on the show. We had him about 2 months ago. But Joel Iriarte, 17 years old, 17-time national champion. You guys can find. Oh, well, I know Jesus, you don't have an Instagram, but Joel, yeah, not much info on him. He's like super low key. Like people are barely finding out about him. And Jesus, I posted this clip on Instagram. I know you don't have one, but if you guys watch the Robert Garcia podcast, they actually shouted us out one time because of our podcast with him, but because Joel spars there. He sparred Jackson Mariñez. He sparred for his fight against Rolly. He sparred Jose Ramirez in his fight against Postol. And from what I hear, he always gets the best of him. And yeah, send link on Joel. Yeah, so Robert Garcia and Pita were talking about him because someone in their live asked them, "Oh, what do you guys? What are the updates on Joel?" And they were like, "Yeah, they were very excited." And then Pita was like, "Yeah, go check out the podcast with the guys from Against the Ropes." And they were talking about that, how like nobody knew him because he's so low key. But like all the people in the amateur scene know him, like if they're trainers or they fight in the amateurs. But like the mainstream media don't know much about him. But I know they do have like people have approached them with offers and stuff. And yeah, from what I hear, Jesus, because we have a friend of ours, a friend of the show, he's a boxing trainer and he hangs out with their camp, with Joel Iriarte's camp, and he witnesses all the sparring and stuff. He just sends us pictures because they don't let him record, obviously. But from what I hear, he's been getting the best of almost everyone. All those names, I don't want to like throw anyone under the bus, but Jackson Mariñez and Jose Ramirez, the guys I mentioned, and he's only 17. He's about 6'1", and he fights at 142, I believe, in the amateurs. So he's very tall, very strong. So you guys should look out for him. And we're gonna post some videos. We have some videos of him doing some strength and conditioning at the beach. I still have to post those, but he's a beast. His reach, I don't know, man. I don't know his reach. I feel like those stats are always a lot of time they're misleading, the reach, because sometimes they measure like from the shoulder to the end of the fingertips, which doesn't make sense really in boxing because you're not using your hand to punch really. You're not using your fingers. So it probably should be from the shoulders to the knuckles with your fist closed. But anyway, yeah. I actually have some sparring videos with Joel, but obviously we can't post it. They just let us record because they knew us. He was just sparring some local fighters from Bakersfield. And someday we'll post them, like probably when he goes pro. But now we can't. We can't post those. Joel, who do I think he's gonna sign with? I probably shouldn't say, because they've told us names of people who've approached them. But dude, he's probably gonna make the Olympics, and then after that, he's probably gonna be the highest scouted, amateur. I believe everyone's gonna be after him. But yeah, he's a beast. He's a beast. Why do you say Roxy's corny? Who's the one who said it? Let's see. Oh, Gonzalo. Nah, she's nice. She's really nice. Jesus says Joel versus Ashton. Joel actually beat Ashton in the amateurs. Yeah, but he is a little bigger. But he did beat him probably like 3 years ago, though. I mean, they're still kids and all that, but yeah, Joel beat him. They showed us some video of that fight as well. I don't think it's up on the net, but they showed us video. But yeah, Joel, he's tall. He's a tall kid. He's always been tall, so he's always had like the size advantage over these guys. But in the pros, he'll probably fight at 40 and probably at 47 his first couple years, because he's probably still gonna grow. He's about 6 feet tall. Yeah, I believe they're gonna wait. I believe they're gonna wait. He's 17 and 24. He's gonna be what, like 20, 21. So I think they're gonna wait. You guys can check out the podcast if you guys like. If you guys haven't looked it up, not too long ago, we've had him like 2 years ago. I mean, I'm sorry, 2 weeks ago. Well, I believe I can't remember if they said he fought Shakur in the amateurs or if he sparred him. But yeah, I remember. I mean, a lot of this stuff we can't say like publicly because his dad trains him. He's like super low key, he doesn't like all the info getting out there and stuff. But yeah, we're still waiting for this fight. I may have to sign off because we're already 40 minutes in. So and there's not too many people on here. The Vargas brothers, I don't know them personally, but I have seen a lot of videos and stuff from them. Um, our guy Jesse, who was on the live chat last podcast, he has a 8 or 9 year old son, and he's been taking him to the Capetillo gym in Vegas, and the Vargas brothers are always training there. So I know he's seen them firsthand. He's seen them train and all that. They seem very good. They seem like good all around fighters. When you think about Fernando Vargas, you think about the offense, right? And when he fought a lot of the big fights, like De La Hoya and Trinidad, his defense wasn't the best. So, or maybe his heart was just too big, and his pride, that he would always just come forward. But these guys seem like very good fighters. The Vargas the brothers, is three of them, right? Yeah, but out of those names, I would say Roxy. She's probably gonna be the future of women's boxing, and then Joel Iriarte is definitely gonna be top pound for pound, man. Can't wait till you guys see more of him, honestly. I wouldn't just be saying it, I don't just co-sign anyone, but we've seen this guy sparring. There's I guess there's some videos like of his amateur fights, but yeah, you guys got to see him firsthand because like everyone, like that's how we started paying attention to him, and we paid him a visit in Bakersfield because everyone just talks so highly of him, no matter who it is. Um, Even there's a fighter from the Jackrabbit Boxing Academy last week. His name is Lolo Harris. He's a beast too. He's 17 years old. He actually beat Ashton in the amateurs as well, and he fought last week, and he looked like a beast. But he was also talking about Joel, how Joel was one of the top amateurs in the world. I believe he fought him. I'm not sure, but I know he beat Ashton. Lolo Harris. He's also a beast. He's 2-0 now as a pro. But like anybody from like Southern California, anybody who's in the amateurs, if you ask him about Joel Iriarte, anyone like around the 126 to 140 pound divisions, like everybody knows him. I'm about to sign off real fast because it doesn't seem like they're freaking lagging it. They're lagging it. So I'm gonna start a new stream, guys. Is Roxy single? Yeah, I don't think her mom would let her date. She's 19 now, but they're just like, trust me, dude. Her mom, they just work every day, and like their whole life is just boxing. And then, well, her mom, she helps train, or she's the nutritionist for a lot of these guys, like the Valderas brothers. She was a nutritionist for Sean, and she was helping him train as well, Coach G. When he was over here in LA, she's good friends with Ryan's mom. That's why. And then they actually Ryan wanted her as his nutritionist for this upcoming fight, but she's just been too busy. She has a lot of she just has a few boxers, and then Alan Garcia is gonna fight the 21st. Alan Garcia, who's 1-0, he's a beast too. He fights at, I think he's going up to 35 now because he grew a little bit. He's still 17 years old, but they have a good stable there, and she keeps him on check. Trust me. Yeah, I do believe she'll she'll coach a top boxer. You know, right now her main boxer as a pro is Alan Garcia. He's only 1-0 now, but he's showing a lot of a promising future. He's been sparring with Ryan Garcia as well, and he's gonna fight on the 21st. Hopefully, you guys can tune into that. I'll try to stream it, but I don't know if I'll be able to because they're gonna stream it on a few YouTube channels, and I'll link you guys up for that, and we'll definitely talk about it. But yeah, she used to assist. She used to be an assistant, and she had they used to have Lipinets and El Bandido Vargas too. She used to work with them as well, but she wasn't like the main head coach, so she wouldn't get like all the credit and stuff. But yeah, she's teamed up with Andy Aguilar, and Andy Aguilar has a lot of fighters who work with him specifically for strength and conditioning. So yeah, if like for example, if Leo Santa Cruz would have won that fight, dude, everybody would have been blowing up Andy's phone because he trains with Andy. And as you guys saw, he did look a little stronger for this fight. Like he looked actually like ripped and strong, but he just got caught. But yeah, top discipline boxers today, in my opinion, probably Canelo. Canelo. Who else? I would say Lomachenko because it seems like all they do is train, dude. Anthony Cuba, Loma. Yeah, who else? I like Tyson Fury's discipline since he came back. Like he switched things around like big time. Terrence, yeah. But I feel like it also depends a lot on their trainers. Like you need somebody to keep everyone in check, and that's why the Valderas brothers they've been training over here because they say they needed that, like someone to just keep them basically and have a schedule. Like have a schedule every day. You're gonna wake up at 7 a.m. You're gonna eat breakfast at this time. You're gonna go run at this time. Then you're gonna go to the gym, come back, take a nap. Then you're gonna go do strength and conditioning and go to sleep by 10 p.m. Yeah, Alameda, dude, very good against Nettie. Santa Cruz is doing very good too. Santa Cruz is doing very good. Crawford's discipline, yeah. Yeah, and Andy is cool because he's been featured in the Showtime All Access. He was in that one when he was working with Leo, and then he was also in the Matchroom one that they did with Diego Pacheco. They did a whole section on Diego Pacheco, like a whole video. You guys should be able to find it on YouTube. And then they show Andy there too, working with him. So that's pretty cool. He's starting to get bigger and all that. Leo versus Inoue, that would be dope. That would be dope. Yeah, but I'm about to sign off because these dudes are taking forever. I'll be back because I don't want the stream to be too long. Because if people tune in for the fights, they're gonna be like, "Damn, this dude's just talking, not even showing the fights." So yeah, Leo's very disciplined too, from what I hear. Like these guys, their whole life is boxing, which that's pretty cool. There's another fighter who's gonna be fighting next week too on the undercard of Crawford against Brook. Um, Raymond Murataya. He's signed to Top Rank. He's trained by his father and also by Robert Garcia. And Raymond, he's a brother of Gabriel Murataya, the teacher, the preschool teacher, who was also fighting on ESPN. And they have a home gym. So like all around their house is just like boxing equipment and gym stuff. So they're also just training every day. It's pretty cool. I mean, I guess when you have the resources, to have a home gym and dedicate basically your whole day to boxing. It's pretty cool. Yeah, thank you guys for the topics and for your input as well. I'll probably wait 2 more minutes and then I've been refreshing their Facebook stream, but I told you how they've been taking. It's been 52 minutes since their last stream, since they cut the stream. So I don't know what they're doing in Tijuana. I don't know what they're doing over there, man. But they're taking some long breaks. Better than Haney's fight. Yeah, and then our next podcast should be. We wanted to do on Tuesday with the Valderas brothers, but even if we do it, it wouldn't be live. So Tuesday we probably won't, or we probably do a live on Tuesday. I don't know. I'm not sure. It depends on the schedule because I think we're gonna be busy on Thursday. So we'll probably go live Tuesday. We'll talk about the Canelo stuff. We'll talk about the fights. I guess briefly if anything major happens. Hopefully we get some good knockouts. But yeah, the Canelo stuff has been the big news lately. I think there's a lot to talk about in that one. Let's see if Deontay Wilder comes up with any new excuses. And yeah, I think I'm gonna end it here because these guys are still not on. But I'll be back probably as soon as they're back. You know, I'm guessing like 5-10 minutes. I don't know. They've been gone for an hour. I don't know if it started raining over there. But yeah, I'll be back. I'll be back. Yeah, Roxy is Mexican. Her she was telling us the other day. So her mom's side is like part Spanish and part Native American. And her dad's side is Mexican. 100%. So all her family basically is in Mexico. And she lived over there for like 3 months. She just came back 2 months ago. But she was over there in Mexico just training. And during the whole pandemic, her mom kind of sent her over there just to stay away from all the craziness over here. And she was training over there and all that from Colima, Mexico. Oh, but yeah, I'll be back, guys. I'll be back. Thank you guys for tuning in. How long has this been? Let me see. It's been almost 50 minutes. Yeah, very long. So thank you guys for tuning in. And I'm going to be back. All right. If you guys are waiting for the Juan de Dios Avila fight, if anyone is watching the replay, it will be on the next one, okay? Jesse Mandapet fought already, and then Darynn Leyva both got a third round knockout. Both guys from the Grampas Boxing Gym. And then we'll be back hopefully for Juan de Dios Avila. If not, we're going to be back Tuesday most likely. And yeah, man, stay tuned. Thank you guys. Thank you, Gonzalo. Thank you, Jesus, man. Shout out to you guys. And we'll be back soon, hopefully.